ஒரு நிமிஷம் அந்த யூடியூப் ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. அதான் இப்போ திருப்பி லைவ் திருப்பி கனெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
திருப்பி கனெக்ட் பண்ணி அது வந்து எரர் இன் டூப்ளிகேட் கீ கிரியேட்டட்.
அது ஓகே.
ஆக்சுவலா யூடியூப் கனெக்ட் ஆகல, அதனால எண்ட் பண்ணி.
அது ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை கிடையாது, எண்ட் எல்லாம் கிடையாது. நீங்க டூப்ளிகேட் கீனா இந்த இடத்துக்கு போயிட்டு நியூ கீ போட்டுருங்க, அவ்வளோதான்.
சரி. இல்லை இப்போ கனெக்ட் ஆகுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இப்போ கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு.
மட்டும் மாத்திடுறேன். மாத்தினா லிங்க்.
Good evening everybody. Am I audible? Good evening. Yes, Murali, good evening. Yes, Naveen Kumar, good evening everybody. Am I audible? Yes, yes. Am I audible now? My voice is audible? Yes, good evening everybody. Rani, good evening. Yes, yes. Patel, good evening. Yes, good evening everybody. Am I audible to everyone? Good evening, yes. Lavanya. Yes, yes. Good evening everybody. So yesterday what we have seen, so I just discussed with you about some basics of Python. So what are all the different data types, operators. So what we have seen yesterday, what are all the different data types in Python. So I discussed with you about different data types, right? So what are all the different data types? Yes, yes. I'm audible, right? So yesterday I was discussing with you about different data types. So what are all the different data types? Yes, whatever I explained yesterday, clear? Everything is clear. So I started with format specifiers. So I discussed with you about swapping operations. What are the different types of operators? Everything is clear yesterday. Whatever we discussed yesterday, everything is clear. Yes, what is the use of type keyword? Conversion functions, everything I discussed. Everything is clear. So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming masterclass. PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, PPTs, recordings. You will be gaining more practical knowledge. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon, which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a project, we'll have a gaming project, we'll have a discussion. You can post your queries and doubts during the hackathon. Alright, yes, int, float, character, all these are the different data types. And what are all the different types of logical operators, swapping functions, escape sequence. So I started with string functions. So how to do string concatenation, everything. So today I'm just going to continue with string functions. What are all the other types of operations that can be performed on strings? And we will just continue. So whatever I can cover today, let me just cover, and remaining things we will see tomorrow. So till this part, whatever I am discussing, so if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming masterclass. PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, PPTs, recordings. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. Alright. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon, which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a project. We'll have a project discussion. You can post your queries and doubts during the hackathon. Alright. So let me just continue. So I just started with string functions. What is the use of strings in Python? So I just discussed with you about how to concatenate two strings. What do you mean by an escape sequence? All those things I was discussing. So next I'm going to discuss with you about different string functions. Say for example, I have many inbuilt functions, pre-built functions and user-defined functions. If I want to find the length of a given string, so I have to go for len keyword. So this is an inbuilt function. So I have to go for len of, so I have to enclose the string within double quotes. If I want to find the length of a given string, so I have to enclose the string within double quotes. So len is the keyword. This is the inbuilt function. So if I want to find the length of a given string, so I have to use this keyword, len keyword. So what is the syntax here? So len of within simple brackets within double quotes. So I have to give my required string. So whichever string, if I want to find the length of a particular string, so I have to enclose the string within double quotes. And if I want to find the index of a particular character within a given string, so there is one more inbuilt function called find function. So what is the use of this find function? For example, I am initializing the variable. So I am just storing a string variable within double quotes. It is nothing but a sequence of characters. It is enclosed within double quotes. It is stored in the variable s and s dot. So whichever inbuilt functions I have to call using the variable name using dot operator, I am just calling this find function. So if I want to find the length of a character within a particular string, so I have to go for this find function. So where the D is located. For example, the indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. At the third location, D is present. So this is the main use of this find function. If I want to find the index position of a character within a given string, so I have to go for this find function. So all these are different types of inbuilt functions. So what are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings? So I just discussed with you about len function. So what is the use of this len function? Say for example, I am giving like this. I am giving some word. I am giving as summary. So if I want to find the length of the word, so I have to prepend with len function. So len of within simple brackets within double quotes, I have to give the corresponding string. So if I want to find the length of a given string, so I have to give the string within double quotes. I should enclose the string within double quotes. So how many characters are present in this string? 7 characters. Clear? And if I want to find the length of a given string, say for example strt, so I am just giving some name for my string. For example, I am enclosing parrot. So if I want to find the index position of a character within this string, so I am just giving as strt2 of, for example, dot find function. So I am just giving as ROT. So what is the index position of this particular character? So R is located at the third position. So you are clear with this? So what are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings? So what is the use of this len function? If I want to find the length of a given string, so how many characters are present in the given string? So I have to go for this len function. So there is an inbuilt function called len function. And if I want to find the position of a character within a given string, so I have to go for this find function. So whichever inbuilt functions I have to call using the variable name using dot operator, I am just calling this find function. So within double quotes, I have to give. So for example, if I want to find the index location of O, so where O is located, so it is located at the 4th position. So what is the use of this find function? It just returns the index position of the corresponding character within a particular string. So all these are the different types of string functions. Similarly, if I want to extract a specific part of my string from my entire string. So how I can extract a specific part of a string from my entire string? So using colon operator, I can just extract a subpart from my entire string. For example, within double quotes, I am just storing a sequence of characters. It is stored in the variable s. And s of within square brackets. So before colon indicates the start index. And after colon indicates the end index. So start index is always inclusive and end index is always exclusive. So clear, if I want to extract a specific part from my entire string, so I have to go for this colon operator. For example, I am just initializing a string variable. So s equal to within double quotes, I am just storing a sequence of characters. So I am just enclosing a string variable within, I am storing a string value within double quotes. and using this variable name within square brackets. So I need to extract some specific part from my entire string. So before colon indicates the start index and after colon indicates the end index. So you are clear with this? For performing some sort of operations, say from a bigger word I want to extract some smaller word, I want to analyze some text data. So I can go for this colon operator. So what is the use of this colon operator? So if I want to extract a specific part, if I want to extract some certain characters from my entire string, I can go for this colon operator. For example, I am just storing the sample string. So sample str equal to, so what I am trying to do here, so I am just storing a string value. So I am just storing as rising sun. So I am just storing a string value. So if I want to extract a specific character from my entire string, say I am just printing. So from this, how to extract some specific characters? So I have to specify the start index and the end index. Clear? So before colon indicates the start index and after colon indicates the end index. So clear? The indexing starts from 0th position. So at 0th position R is stored and at first position I is stored. So I had to exclude 4. The end index is always exclusive. So this is how I can extract a substring from my entire string. Similarly, what I am trying to do here, say for example, if I want to extract some, for example from third, so I want to extract the remaining strings. Clear? From the third position, so I am extracting the remaining portion of my string. So all these are the different types of operations. So what is the use of this colon operator? So from my entire string, the string is enclosed within double quotes. If I want to extract some specific portions of my string, I can go for this colon operator. So if I don't mention anything after the colon, so till the end, what are all the characters? The before colon indicates the starting index. So from the third position, so what are all the characters till the end? So if I don't mention any end index, so what are all the characters present? It will be displayed at the output. Similarly, so if I don't mention the start index, say for example, I am mentioning like this. So if I don't mention the start index till 4th characters, what are all the present? It will be displayed at the output. Clear? Yes. So the indexing starts from 0th position. So till this part, any doubts? What is the use of len function? So all these are some of the inbuilt functions. What are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings? So there is one more function called replace function. So what is the use of this replace function? So if I want to replace a specific word with one more word, for example within double quotes, I am just storing an entire sentence. Wait, wait, wait until you succeed. So the first one denotes the base word. So I am going to replace wait with work. So where I am finding wait, this will be replaced with work. So whichever inbuilt functions I have to call, using the variable name, using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding function. So whichever string functions I want to call, using the variable name, using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding inbuilt functions. So I am just calling this replace function. So within double quotes, I am just giving the first string, the base string I am just giving as wait. So the second one I am giving so where I am finding wait, it will be replaced with work. So work, work, work until you succeed. So clear with this, what are the different types of string operations? Similarly, if I want to convert all the characters to the uppercase, so I have an inbuilt function called upper function. So whichever functions I have to call, so this is the syntax for using upper and lower functions. So within double quotes, I am just enclosing a sequence of characters. I am enclosing my string value dot upper function. And within double quotes, I am enclosing string value dot lower. So if I want to convert to lower case, I am just calling this lower function. So clear with this, what are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings? Replace functions and upper and lower functions. For example, I am giving as S1. So wait, wait, wait until you succeed. Alright, so I am going to replace. So S1 dot replace of. So I am going to replace where I find weight. This will be replaced with work. Clear? What is the use of this replace function? So where I am finding weight, this will be replaced with work. So you can see here the first one is the base word, that is the string 1. So within double quotes I am just giving as wait until you succeed. So it is stored in the variable S1, and S1 dot I am calling this inbuilt function called replace function. So this is my string 1, within double quotes I am giving as wait. So where I have this word wait in my entire sentence, this will be replaced with work. So work until you succeed. So there is one more function. For example, if I want to convert to lowercase or uppercase, say for example I am just giving a word capital. So I am just calling the corresponding function. So string 1 dot upper. So you can see here, so all my letters, all my characters, it is being converted to uppercase. Similarly, if I want to convert to lowercase, for example, I am giving as power. So everything I am giving in caps, so uppercase. So I am calling the corresponding function called lower function. So all the characters in my string. So this is my string 1. It is enclosed within double quotes. So what are all the characters present in my string? It is converted to lowercase. So whichever string functions I have to call using dot operators, I have to go for this upper function or lower function. All these are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings. So with that I am done with the string function. So what are the different types of operations that can be performed on strings? So next I am going to discuss with you about decision making statement. So what is the use of this decision making statement? So using if keyword, so I am going to execute some condition, if condition. So based on some condition, I am going to execute certain statements. So this is the syntax for using a if statement. So from this you can just understand. So using if keyword space, I am giving a condition colon. So I am leaving some indentation. It is followed by the statement block. So if condition colon statement 1 else colon statement 2. And nested if else structure. So all these are the different types of if statements. So there are basically, first one is a simple if condition. So if condition colon, so there should be some indentation followed by the statement block. The next one is if else structure. So if space condition. So it is checking for a condition colon indentation statement 1 else colon I am leaving some space statement 2. The third statement is nested if else statement. So I am having an if condition within another if condition. So if space condition 1 colon, so I am leaving some indentation followed by statement 1. Else if I am checking for second condition indentation statement 2. So this is an example of nested if else structure, that is having an if statement within another if statement. So you are clear with this, what is the use of this if statement? So what do you mean by decision making statement? So based on some condition, I am going to execute a certain set of statements. So that is the main use of this if statement, decision making statement. So what is the use of this decision making? So it is followed by, I have to use this if keyword. So in order to use this decision statement, I have to use the if keyword followed by some condition. So if I need to check for some condition, colon followed by the, I am leaving some indentation followed by the statement block. So this is statement 1, statement 2 followed by the statement block. So based on some condition, it is going to perform some operation or computation. So followed by the statement block. So this is one simple example of a decision making statement. So what I am trying to do here, first I am initializing x with the value of 90. And then I am checking for some condition. If the x value is greater than 100. So I am checking for some condition colon. So I am leaving some space indentation. I am printing x is big. So else if, this is an example of nested if else structure. So what do you mean by nested if else structure? So having an if statement within another if statement. This is an example of nested if else structure. So if I am checking for certain condition, if x is greater than 100, so I am going to print some statement. So if x is less than 10, I am going to print x is small. Else I am printing x is medium. So this is an example of nested if-else structure. So you can see here I am having an if statement within another if statement. So let me just show you an example. So what is the use of this if statement? For example, I am just initializing x with the value of 90. So if x greater than 100, so I am just printing as x is big. So I am just printing x is big. So elif, what I am trying to do here. So this is an example of nested if-else structure. X is less than 10. So I am just printing x is small. X is small. Else I am printing x is medium. So you are clear what are all the different types of if statements. So I am just printing as x is medium. So this is an example of nested if-else structure. So first if, that is if is the corresponding keyword followed by a condition. So I am just checking, I am just initializing x with the value of 90 and then I am checking for certain condition. So if my x value is greater than 100 colon, so I am leaving some indentation. I am just printing x is big. So elif, so I am having an if statement within another if statement. So this is an example of nested if-else structure. So I am just checking if the x value is less than 10. So I am just printing x is small. Else I am printing x is medium. So you are clear with this. What is the use of this if statement? So based on some condition, if I want to perform certain operations. So when I am building some bigger applications. So based on some condition, if I want to perform some operation, I can go for a if statement. So this is one more example. If I want to get the user input. So there is an inbuilt function called input function. So using this, I can get the user input and I can print. So if the name, I am just getting the name. Input is a function. So I am just enter your name. The user is going to enter the name. So if name equal to Tom. So whatever name has entered. So I am giving welcome Tom. Otherwise I am printing as welcome guest. So you are clear with this, how to get the user input. So using input keyword, I can just get the user input and I can print. So I am checking. So based on the input received from the user, so I am checking for a condition. If the given name matches with the input given by the user. So based on the condition, so I am printing welcome Tom. Otherwise I am printing as welcome guest. So this is one more way of using the if statement. Say for example, I am having name. So I am just getting the user input. So input of, I am just giving as enter your name. So I am just getting the user input. So after that I am checking if name equal to whatever name he has entered. Say for example, I am giving as Sam. So I am checking for a condition. So based on that I am printing. So I am just printing welcome name, the corresponding name I am giving. So else what I am doing here, I am printing as welcome guest. So you are clear what is the use of this decision making statement. So this is a example user input. For example, I am giving as Sam. So yeah, I am getting the message as welcome Sam. So you are clear. So how I can get the user input? So using input keyword. So this is an inbuilt function. So I am printing a message, enter your name. So I am just printing this message within double quotes. It is stored in the variable name. And then I am checking if name equal to Sam. So whatever name he has entered. So I am just printing as welcome Sam. Else I am printing as welcome guest. So you are clear. All these are different ways of using a decision making statement. So I can go for with numeric numbers. With numbers entered, I want to check for condition. I can go for simple if statement or if-else structure or nested if statement. Or based on the input given by the user, I want to perform certain operations. So I can go for this type of statements. So using input keyword, I am just prompting a message. So I am just prompting the user to enter his name. And based on the name entered, so I am printing some messages. So which part you didn't understand? Clear? Yeah, you can give another name as well. So whatever names you want, you can give some other names as well. See, I am just trying to execute this code. So I am giving as something like Finn. So if I am giving some other names, so you will be getting welcome guest as the result. So it is taking some time. So you are clear. So based on the inputs given by the user. So using this input, I am just getting the user input. And then I am checking if the entered name is equal to Sam. I am printing as welcome Sam. Otherwise, welcome guest will be printed at the output. Raw input, it is used in Python 2. Input, it is used in Python 3. Yeah. Clear? Everything is clear? Yes, is dictionaries I will explain. So I am having still much more to cover. So I am just covering all these things. Then I will go for dictionaries and everything. So I want to define user-defined functions. So I want to finish all these things. Then I will cover with dictionaries. If possible, I will cover. So just take down this task. Take the input from the user. Percentage of marks obtained in the exam. And then you print the grade based on the percentage of marks. So, for example, grade A, what is the percentage of marks? 91 to 100%. And grade B, it's going to be 71 to 90%. And grade C, it is going to be 60 to 70%. So, just take down this task. Take the input from the user. The percentage of marks obtained in the exam. And based on the percentage of marks, you print the grade based on the percentage. So if it lies between 91 to 100, you just print as grade A. If it lies between 71 to 90, you print as grade B. So if it lies between 60 to 70, you print as grade C. Else you print grade D using if-else structure. So next I am just going to discuss with you about functions. So what is the use of these functions? So what is the use of this user-defined functions and inbuilt functions? I am just going to discuss with you about different types of functions. So what is the use of functions? So when I want to execute a set of instructions for a given number of times, say for example, I want to perform some specific operation. So it is nothing but a smaller piece of block. So based on so whenever I am going to call this function, it is going to perform some operation and it is going to give me the relevant result. So that is the main use of this user-defined function. So what do you mean by user-defined function? So it is defined manually by the user. So using the def keyword, so the user-defined functions are defined manually by the user. So def space the function name, so colon. So I am just giving, for example, I am going for a for loop. So for I in range of 1, 11, colon. So I am just printing the I value at the output. So whenever I am going to call this user-defined function, the user-defined function, it is called with the function name. So it is going to print a range of numbers from 1 to 11. So clear? For example, what is the use of user-defined function? So it is going to perform some specific task. For example, I am building some bigger applications. So I want to do some operations like addition. So if I want to calculate the total salary of an employee, so I am doing some employee analysis, how various employees are performing in an organization. So I can define some function. So whenever I am going to call this user-defined function, so it is going to print the total salary. So based on my application, I can go for this type of functions. So once I am going to write a function, it can be reused anywhere in the program. So how to define a user-defined function? So using def keyword, I am just defining the user-defined function. So def space, I have to give the name of this function. So open bracket and close bracket colon. So I am going for a for loop. So for I in range. So I am giving the starting value and the ending range colon. So I am printing each and every I value at the output. So you are clear with this. What is the use of this user-defined function? So def is the keyword for defining a user-defined function. 1 minute. So how I am defining a user-defined function? Using def keyword. 1 minute, my system is hanging. Just a minute. So def, so what I am trying to do here, so I am just giving as count to 10. So I am just giving like this. So what I am trying to do here, I am going for a for loop for I in range of 1, 11. So I am printing each and every I value at the output. So you are clear with this? What is the use of this user defined function? So count to 10. So whenever I am going to call this function, so it is going to print a range of numbers at the output. So what is the syntax for defining a user defined function? So def is the keyword for defining the user defined function. So def space, I have to give the name of this function. So whatever is the function I am going to create, so I have to give the name of this function. So open bracket and close bracket colon. So this is the syntax for creating a user defined function. And then I am leaving some indentation for I in range of 1, 11. So if I lies within this range, so I am going to print each and every I value at the output. Clear? So whenever I am going to call this function, it is going to print a range of numbers at the output. Similarly, based on my functionality, so if I want to perform some average or some other operation, so it is nothing but a set of instructions which is going to perform some specific task. So what is the main purpose of creating a user defined function? So once we are writing a user defined function, it can be reused anywhere in the program. Clear? So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python internship program. So one minute, PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings, so how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So please hurry up, the internship offer is going to end soon. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll just have a project, we'll take a gaming project about Python, we'll have a project discussion. You can post your queries and doubts during the hackathon. Alright. So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. Alright. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings, how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a project, we'll have a project discussion. You can just post your queries. So if you have any doubts, you can just post your queries and doubts in the Facebook link. So I am just continuing. So far I just discussed with you about what is the use of decision making statement. So what is the use of functions. So if I want to execute a set of instructions, so I can go for a function to perform some specific task. I can go for functions. So it is defined by the def keyword. So I was discussing about user defined functions. So if I want to pass some arguments, so firstly I was discussing without passing any arguments. While defining some user defined function, so if I want to pass some arguments to my function, so I can pass some arguments. So def is the keyword for defining a user defined function. So def space the name of the function. So I am just passing. So n is the argument that is being passed to this user defined function. Colon for I in range. So I am giving 1, n plus 1. So I am just printing each and every I value at the output. Clear? So while calling this function, I can pass in some arguments. So I can create an empty function as well as I can pass in some arguments to my user defined function. So how to pass some arguments to my user defined function? Using the function name. So while calling the function name, I can pass in some arguments to my user defined function. Clear? So function is nothing but, so I am going to execute a set of instructions in order to perform some specific task. It is nothing but a block of code. You can see here a set of statements, a collection of statements which is going to perform some specific task. Clear? So next I am going to discuss with you about looping statements. So what is the use of this looping statement? So I was discussing with you about decision making statements. So there is one more type of statement called looping statement. So what is the use of this looping statement? So if we want to execute a set of instructions for a repeated number of times, so I can go for looping statement. So repeatedly for a certain number of times I want to execute some statement, I can go for a looping statement. For is the keyword for, there are different types of loops, say for loop and while loop. So if I want to go for a for loop, so I have to use the for keyword, for x in range of 10. So colon, I am going to print each and every x value at the output. So clear, what is the use of this for loop, for statement? So for is the keyword for using a for loop for x in range of 10. So if x lies within this range, colon, so I am going to print each and every x value at the output. So you are clear with this? What is the use of this for statement? So if I want to execute a set of instructions for a repeated number of times, so I want to print this number, so from 0 to 9. So I want to use this print statement for a repeated number of times, so I can go for a for statement, for loop. So what is the use of this for loop? So I have to use this for keyword for x in range of 10. So I am picking each and every x value within this range and then I am printing this x value at the output. So what is the syntax for creating a for loop? So using for keyword x in range of, if it lies within the range of 10 numbers, colon. So I am just printing each and every x value at the output. So you are clear, if I want to print a range of numbers from 0 to 9, so I can go for a for statement, for loop. So all these are the different types of statements that are available in Python language. So I can go for a nested for loop. So similar to nested if-else structure, I can go for a nested for loop. So what do you mean by a nested for loop? So that is a for loop within another for loop. For example, you can see here, this is an example. Nesting is nothing but using one for loop inside another. For example, I am just storing a list of different strings. They are being separated by comma. They are enclosed within square brackets. It is stored in the variable words. So I am picking the outer for loop. It is used for picking each and every word from my words list. So I am just printing each and every word. And the inner for loop, it is going to pick each and every letter from my word. Clear? So each and every individual letter it is going to print and it is going to pick and it is being displayed at the output. Clear? What is the use of this kind of nesting structure? So I am going to have a for loop within another for loop. So the outer for loop, it acts like a controller for the number of words present in my entire list. They are being separated by comma. And what is the use of this inner for loop? It is going to pick each and every letter present in my individual words. So I am going to print each and every letter at the output. So let me just illustrate. So what I am trying to do here. For example, I am just storing a list of string within words. So words equal to I am storing a list of vegetables or flowers or fruits. So I am just storing a fruits list. Say for example, apple, mango. So they are being separated by comma. Banana and then pineapple. So I am just storing a list of fruits within double quotes. Then using for loop for word in words. So I am picking each and every word from my words list. So I am printing this at the output. So I am giving individual words. I am giving the title as individual words. So I am just printing this at the output. So I am picking each and every word and it is being printed at the output. And inner for loop, so I am going to pick each and every letter present in my word. So for letter in word, So I am just going to print the individual letters. So what are all the individual letters? So I am just printing the individual letters. So you are clear with this? What is the use of this kind of for loop? So I am leaving some space. So it is going to print like this. So I am just clicking the run button. So what is the use of this nested for loop? So I am just storing a list of different strings, a list of different fruits. They are being enclosed within double quotes and they are being separated by comma. So it is enclosed within square brackets. They are separated by comma. It is stored in the variable words. And I am picking for word in word. So I am picking each and every word from this words list. Colon. I am printing each and every word. For example, this is my first word. So what is the use of this outer for loop? So it is going to pick each and every word from my words list. So the first word is apple. So it is picking apple. What is the use of this inner for loop? It is going to pick each and every letter from this individual word. For example, apple is my first word. In apple, A is the first letter. So P is the second letter. Similarly, it prints A and then it goes. So again the loop goes and it prints P, P, L, E. So after doing this, there is some space. It goes to the outer for loop. So it is going to pick the second string from my entire list. The second string is mango. The second fruit is mango. So it is going to print mango. So again it comes to the inner for loop. So the inner for loop is used for displaying each and every letter present in individual words or individual strings. What is the use of this outer for loop? It is going to pick each and every string present in my entire string list. Each and every fruit. Clear? What is the use of this kind of nesting? So based on my application, I can go for a normal for loop or a nesting for loop. So all these are the different types of looping statements and decision making statements. So just take down this exercise. Write a Python program to count the number of even and odd numbers from a series of numbers. Just take down this exercise. Write a Python program to count the number of even and odd numbers from a series of numbers. Range, np.arange. So if I want to print a range of numbers, I can go for an arange function. It is available in Numpy library. Just take down this task. Write a Python program to count the number of even and odd numbers from a series of numbers. So you can just take the sample numbers. So you have to count the number of even and odd numbers from a series of numbers. So how many even numbers are there and how many odd numbers are there. So with this I am just stopping today. So if you have any doubts in the topics I have covered today, you can just ask me. Any doubts? If you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming masterclass internship program. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings. So how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So please hurry up. The internship offer is going to end soon. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon, which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a project. We'll have a gaming project. We'll have a project discussion. You can just attend the hackathon and you can post your queries and doubts in the Facebook link. So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings. So how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So any more doubts? Everything is clear. So whatever topics I have discussed today, any doubts? Yes. Any doubts? So what are all the different topics? So I just started with string functions. What is the use of len function? So what is the use of, I discussed with you about different types of string functions. So what is the use of len function? So what is the use of replace function and uppercase? If I want to convert to uppercase and lowercase, I discussed with you about different types of string functions. After that, I started with decision making statement, that is if statement. What is the use of if statement? If else structure, if and else structure. Yes, I'll just repeat this if and else structure. So what we are trying to do in if and else structure? So for example, if I want to execute some statements, what is the use of this if else structure? For example, I am just initializing x with the value of 90. So x equal to 90. And then using if keyword, I am checking for some condition. If x is greater than 100. So I am checking if my x value is greater than 100, colon. So I am just printing x is big. Else if. So this is an example of nested if else structure. So what do you mean by nesting of if else structure? So I am having an if else statement, if statement with another if statement. So x is less than 10, colon. So I am printing x is small. Else I am printing x is medium. Yes, user defined functions are defined using the def keyword. Any more doubts? Len function. So if I want to find the length of a given string, so I can go for len function. For example, I have to give the len keyword. For example, I am giving as rainfall. So I want to find the number of characters present in a given string. So how many characters are there in rainfall? 8 characters. Any more doubts? So you can go for Anaconda Navigator and Jupyter Notebook for doing Python coding. Everything is clear. You can practice Python in Anaconda Navigator, Jupyter Notebook. Any more doubts? So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. Alright. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, so you'll be getting access to the IPONB files, lecture notes, PPTs, how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So please hurry up, the internship offer is going to end soon. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon, which is going to happen every Saturday. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a Python project, we'll have a project discussion. And you can post your queries and doubts in the Facebook link. Yeah, looping functions. Yeah, I'll just explain. See, def function, it is used for defining a user-defined function. For example, I want to perform some specific task. So what is the use of this user-defined function? So whenever I'm going to call this function, it is going to perform some specific task. So def is the keyword for defining a user-defined function. Space the name of the function. Open bracket and close bracket colon. So I am going for a for loop for I in range of 1, 11. So I am printing each and every I value at the output. So whichever functions, how I am calling the user defined function using the function name. So what is the use of this user defined function? So if I want to perform a specific task, so I can go for it is nothing but a set of instructions which is used to perform some specific task. Say for example, I want to do some total or average. I can go for some user defined function. So it can be written only once and it can be reused anywhere in the program. That is the main use of this user defined function. ID, yes. Actually, I want to cover many things. So tomorrow I'll just continue with this. So whatever I'm able to cover, I'm covering. Yes, I want to cover all these things. So I'm just covering. So whatever I can cover tomorrow, I'll just give you a brief introduction and then I'll start with SQL. Any doubts? So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for internship, so you'll be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings, so how the projects are being developed. Alright? Books, I will refer some books. Python is having simpler syntax when compared to other languages. I'll go a bit slow. Any more doubts? Function is nothing but a set of instructions, a collection of statements which is used to perform some specific task. Palindrome is nothing but, so whenever I'm going to give some word, if I'm going to reverse the characters, if I'm going to get the same word, it is called as a palindrome word. While loop, whatever I can cover, I will cover. So tomorrow I will cover with the remaining things. So I will start with dictionaries. So I'll start with dictionaries. I'll give an introduction and I'll go to SQL with Python. Any doubts? So I'm just typing my mail ID. This is my mail ID. So if you have any doubts, you can post your queries in the mail ID. You can do this in Collab as well. Yes, I'll go a bit slow. Which syntax you want me to explain? Looping statement. Yes, which syntax you want me to explain? So everything is clear. SAMP str, it is a name of a variable. Strings parrot example you want me to explain. Yes, I'll just explain. So what I'm trying to do here, I have taken a parrot. So this is an example. So I'm just enclosing a string within double quotes. So if I want to call any of the inbuilt functions, so using the variable name, using dot operator, I'm just calling the find function. So OT. So if I want to find the index location of a corresponding character in a specific string, so I have to give the corresponding, for example, the whole letter where it is stored. So it is stored at the 4th index. So it is returning me 4. So this is the main use of this find function. Say for example, what is the use of this find function? 1 minute, let me just explain. So what is the use of it? Returns the index position of a character within a specific string. So I am giving as str1. So this is my string. Alright. So I am just enclosing a sequence of characters. So I am giving as rows or some other thing. Clear? So if I want to find, for example, this is my string dot. So I am just going for a find function. So where I have this SE. So for example, the indexing starts from 0. So this is my 0th index. This is my first index, second index and third index. So at the second position, S is present. So I'll be when I'm giving find, so 2 will be returned at the output. Both are same, raw input and input. Input it is used in Python 3, raw input it is used in Python 2. Any more doubts? Navjot Singh, it's this clear. So raw input it is used in Python 2, whereas input it is used in Python 3. Everything is clear, whatever I have discussed. Part of a string, yes. So how we have to extract a part of a string. So let me just explain. So how we have to extract a part of a string. So using colon operator. So I am giving the sample string within double quotes. So using this variable within square brackets, I have to provide colon operator. So before colon indicates the start index and after colon indicates the end index. So what is the use of colon operator? So if I want to extract some specific characters from my entire string, so I have to go for this colon operator. Clear? Any doubts? STR of 1 to 5, yes. So before colon indicates the starting index. So if I want to extract some specific characters from my entire string, so I have to give the corresponding index locations, index positions. So before colon indicates the starting index and after colon indicates the ending index. Whatever I can cover, I will cover. So tomorrow let me continue. So I'll just start with date and time dictionaries and I will cover with SQL functions. Whatever I can cover, I will cover. Any more doubts? I have given some tasks, right? You can just take up the task and if you can practice. If you, for more doubts, you can mail me. If else function I was telling you, right? So this is an extra, for example, I want to check. So I am giving some value as age. Say for example, age equal to, I am giving, that is for example, old person or young person I want to say. For example, I am taking ages, I am taking greater than, say for example, I am giving 50, older person. Okay, I am just printing a message as old person. Else I am giving. So based on some threshold, if I am printing as young person, if it is greater than 50, I am printing as older person. Else I am printing as young person. Clear? So this is an example of if-else structure. Clear? Any more doubts? You can just practice. So I am just giving the basics of everything. So you can just practice. For more doubts, you can mail me. So if you are interested, you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. Alright. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings. So how the projects are being developed. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon which is going to happen every Saturday. During the hackathon, we'll take up a project. So I'll take a gaming project. So you can attend the hackathon and you can post your queries and doubts in the Facebook link. Any doubts? Count to 10. So I am using the function for counting the numbers from 1 to 10. I have given my mail ID. This is my mail ID. If you have any problems with the installation or any doubts, you can just mail me or you can WhatsApp me. So this is my mail ID. So I have already shared my mail ID. Alright. So you want me to convert to uppercase and lowercase. So whatever is the function I am giving. So for example, I am giving like this. So dot upper. So I have to call the corresponding string functions. So if I want to convert to uppercase or if I want to convert to lowercase. Clear? What is the use of upper and lower function? Any more doubts? Indentation, so I was explaining you, right? So this is how you have to leave. So some space from the for loop. So this is the indentation you should follow. Any more doubts? Yeah, I am scrolling the screen. Any more doubts? So for more doubts, you can mail me or you can WhatsApp me. Mail ID I have shared. Everything is clear. So whatever I have explained so far, is this clear to everybody? So if everything is clear, we will just end up this session. Any more doubts? Mail ID I have shared in the chat box. Or I will share in the WhatsApp group. So if you are interested, you want my notes or you want the PPTs or lecture, so you can go to pantechelearning and you can register for Python programming internship program. So PYMC, this is the coupon code. So once you register for the internship, you will be getting access to the IPYNB files, the lecture notes, the PPTs, the recordings. So you'll be gaining more practical knowledge. So once you register for the internship, you can participate in the hackathon, which is going to happen every Saturday. Alright. So during the hackathon, we'll take up a gaming project. We'll have a project discussion. You can post your queries and doubts in the Facebook link. Any more doubts? Alright then. Remaining things we will see tomorrow. Same time, same link.